Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. All right, Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to you fellow Akim out there pushing out this word in true sincerity, enduring afflictions as a good soldier of Yahushai. Alright, so it's Brother Kanak, and once again I want to come to you brothers with another video. I pray that the video is edifying. I pray that the video is uplifting, and basically, I'll just jump right into it. I want to get into this video and speak about the time of war, because we're in the time of war. And the reason why this lesson was sparked just going online and looking at some of the headlines in the news, and they all have one thing in common. It's war, whether it be an actual war with a nation, okay, or a rumor of war, or even uprisings and commotions in the earth. That's a time and the seasons that we're in. So without further ado, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna jump into Ecclesiastes once again. This is Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So you get an understanding of the season and the time that we're in, because everything has a season, and we know through the prophecies that we're in a season of war. Okay, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 8. It says, a time to love and a time to hate. So these are two opposing sides of emotions, okay? Love and hate. So there's a time to love and there's a time to hate. All right, and we're definitely not in the time of love. Well, the world doesn't show love, okay? The world shows hate. Well, the scriptures say, let's get it actually. This is Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So we know that we're not in the time of love, because iniquity is abounding in the planet Earth. So that's why we're coming into the time, or we're in the time of war. Okay, it says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So we're in a time of hate, and we're in a time of war. Okay, and what makes this clear, all you have to do is just turn on your TV. There's always talks of war with Russia, nuclear war with Russia at that, which here at Great Millstone we always speak of this last war being a nuclear war. Okay, as well as the scriptures speak about this last war being a nuclear war. Okay, because we're in the time of war. Let me bring the scripture out. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Now it says, but this, if you have understanding, you will know that this is talking about the upcoming war. Because there's no war in history, okay, a world war at that was fought with burning of and fuel of fire. Okay, and what proves this is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, the bombs that were dropped. What did you see? You seen a burning of fuel of fire on a very small level. But this war, this last world war, is going to be like that. Which these nuclear missiles are on a higher level than those missiles that were dropped on Japan. Which, when they compare missiles, they compare and contrast the ones that were dropped on Japan to the ones that are being made now, and they're hundreds of times more stronger. To the point to where, excuse me, when these missiles drop off here in America, it's going to shake the whole earth. The earth is going to reel to and fro. Okay, it speaks about that many times in the scriptures. You can read about in Isaiah 24 chapter, Isaiah 13 chapter. Okay, let me read this again. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, and let's go. So this war that's going to come which is the Third World War, where everybody knows that this war is going to happen. And everybody knows that it's a nuclear war. And this is all prophesied in the Bible, so we know that we're in that time. Because we're not going to be in the time of peace until the people of peace are established, the real Israelites. Okay, then that's when there's going to be peace on earth. Okay, but as for right now, we're in the time of war, which, when you think about it, who's all setting these things up? It's the Heavenly Father. This is Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name, or Yahweh is his name. So Yahweh Shema Shai, he's an actual man of war. That's why there's so much war going on right now. You have the war in the Middle East. You have trade wars, economic wars. You have the war on terror, the war on drugs. There's always some type of martial law or a martial type thing going on, which means martial means like warlike. Martial arts means warlike. So there's always some type of war going on in the planet Earth, and talks of wars. Not only are there wars going on, but there's talks of wars, rumors of wars, as the scriptures say. Let's read it. This is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So we hear of wars, we hear of uprisings. Okay, over there in France. Okay, they want a full overthrow of the government. Okay, and this is all prophesied in the Bible. Okay, and all you people through the technology, okay, whether it be your phone, whether it be the TV, the radio, you're able to hear of these things. In the past, people were not able to hear of different uprisings. Now, people are able to hear of different uprisings, empathize, sympathize with them, and then that spirit is going to jump on the whole earth, because it's going to be like, well, all the governments are what's it called, corrupt, you know. So that spirit is going to jump on the whole world to uprise, and it's bleeding into Belgium, it's bleeding into different parts of France, and it's going to come over here to America, as it's already in South America, Central and South America. So, and that's because the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, he's a man of war. So we're hearing of wars that are actually taking place on a small to medium scale. Okay, like Ukraine. They're saying Ukraine is going to prepare for war with Russia, which we don't know. But that's a rumor of war. There's already been provocations of acts of war committed by both sides. Okay? Let me read this again. Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. And this can trouble you if you are invested in this society, if you don't know what's going on. Because this is your livelihood. Okay? Because these wars that are being talked about, these are not no small scale wars. These are wars on a nuclear level. Okay, so once nuclear missiles fly off, that's it for the world. And this can trouble you if you don't know the truth. Okay, but we know the truth, so we don't let these things trouble us. But really, we hasten all these things. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, meaning the final end of America being destroyed and the Israelites getting redeemed. Okay, but we're in. You know what? I'm gonna keep going. It's gonna go into it because we're not at the direct end, but we're right there at the end. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines." So we see that there's famines. Okay, and there's a famine that's going to sweep the whole United States of America. Okay, pestilences. So the Most High can send a pestilence on all the crops. Okay, which will do what? It will cause a famine, and that's what happened in Egypt. Which, when you read the scriptures in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it talks about the Lord plaguing Egypt again. You know, because this is modern day Egypt. So it says, and there shall be famines and pestilences. So there's already famines going on in the earth. If you people didn't already know, if you're not tuned into what's going on, which a lot of news stations, they don't cover this. They these media stations, they want to push the narrative that everything's going fine in the world, but the Most High is turning things up so much that they can't hide none of these things. So all these things are open for the whole world to see. Okay, famines, pestilences. Okay, different people are dying from different diseases. You have outbreaks. You have bacteria and meat that has to be recalled. And this is like a normal occurrence here in America. Okay, year after year, more and more things are normal. Like what's it called? Public shootings, mass shootings. That's normal. That's just regular news on the TV. And pestilences and earthquakes. So we're having earthquakes are more of a in a more of a occurrence. Okay, it might be 3-4 earthquakes back to back. Okay, big ones. All in a week. In diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So we are in the beginning of sorrows. And every day, every week, it becomes more and more sorrowful. Okay? Babylon does. It's low. It becomes more and more sorrowful for you people here in Babylon. You have to worry about this next economic collapse. Okay, your nest egg disappearing. You have to you have to worry about your children not having a future. Okay, all these things are on Americans' minds, as well as more Israelites, coming to the country. The demographics of America are changing, meaning the spirit of America is waning. Not only the spirit of America is waning, but the people of America are waning because there's so much hell and oppression placed upon the people. And ultimately, it's because iniquity is abounding, as we read. So when there's iniquity, sin, okay, sin on top of sin being pushed, all right, the Most High has to destroy. So as the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai, he's a man of war, the whole spirit of war is out there. Why? It's because we're in that time. Now, when we're in the kingdom of heaven, there is going to be no more war. Okay, let's read this first. And then we'll close out on a different scripture. So this is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So this is a prophecy. All the men of war to draw near for what? War. And we're going to keep pushing out that vibration. Not like these other Israelite groups, because we're in that time. It's only evident. It's clear. Like I said, I didn't even have a lesson, I didn't even think of a lesson yet or have one planned. And all I did was go on the internet, and within not even a minute, all I seen was war. So the spirit came to me. It said time of war. Why? Because this is what Yahweh is doing. He says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. I want you to remember this. Plowshares into swords and pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong, because the Lord, he gave them the ability to create nuclear missiles. Okay, that's the weak, these weak nations. Okay, these weak Asian and Indian nations. Okay, all these different nations that the so-called white man took down. Now they're able to stand strong because they have nuclear missiles. They stop putting their money into what? Agriculture. That's where it says, they said, beat your plowshares into swords. So instead of putting your money into agriculture, because a plowshare is used for agriculture, okay, tilling the land, what are they doing? They're making missiles. They're making fighter jets. They're putting all their money into defense. Okay, because the Lord is gathering all the men of war. That's how we know we are in a time of war. Okay, but as I said, in the kingdom of heaven, all right, when the kingdom of heaven is established with Yahweh Shai, okay, and 144,000, there is going to be no more war. So this war that's going to happen is going to be the war to end all wars. Okay, and that's when, after that, that's when we're going to be in the time of peace. Okay, this is Amos 2, and I'll start at the top. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. So you know this is talking about the Israelites. So this is a prophecy. Okay, and it shall come to pass in the last days. Okay, because so we are in the last days. This prophecy is going to come to pass very very soon. That the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow unto it. Okay, because right now the mountain of the Lord is not established above all the nations. Okay, the mountain of the Lord is the children of Israel, the power structure. Okay, because we're the nation that's supposed to govern all nations. Okay, the Lord only chose us. So as we see now, we're at the bottom. So when the mountain of the Lord is established, that means the kingdom of heaven. And it says all nations shall flow unto it. Okay, meaning all nations are going to be subservient to the children of Israel. Okay, they're going to have to worship our power. They're going to have to worship us. They're going to have to do the law, statute, commandments, and make oblations to Yahweh Shema Shai, and we're going to oversee and govern that. And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. Yeah, because we're not only we're going to be kings, we're going to be priests. So we're going to be we're going to have the office of the priests. So we're going to teach these other nations how to serve the Lord. And we will walk in his path, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. It says, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. So they're going to beat, meaning the Lord is not going to allow them, excuse me, the Lord is not going to allow them to be, to practice war anymore. Those war instruments, they're not going to put money into that anymore. They're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to put money back into what? Pruning hooks and plowshares. It says, they shall beat their swords into plowshares, so there is going to be no more weapons. And their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So there you go. So that's when the heaven on earth, peace on earth is going to be established. Okay? But before that can be established, you have to have the time of war on earth. So you have to have war on earth. So we're in the time of war. From small wars to large-scale wars, okay, to this last ultimate war, okay, which is the thermonuclear missiles. But look, we have hope, because we have hope that we're going to be saved, and then we're going to, you know, enter into peace, you know. So I pray that this was edifying and comforting to you, brothers. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Shalom until next time. Death to America.